Ahead and call the Town of Bear River monthly meeting on May 12, 2015 to order. I'd like to go ahead and start by saying the Pledge of Allegiance. Everybody please stand, place your hand over your heart, and then remove cover and follow after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. That being said, I'd like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Stokes made the motion.
I second it.
Mrs. Pace has second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion we approve the April 14th, 2015 meeting minutes.
We have a motion by Mrs. McMurtry. Do I have a second?
I second it.
Got a second by Mrs. Huggins. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimous. Should ask if there's any opposed. Motion carries unanimous. Boy, I'm off my game today.
I make a motion we approve the vouchers.
We have a motion by Mrs. Huggins,
Second.
second by Mr. Stokes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I make a motion to acknowledge April 2015's financial statements.
We have a motion by Mrs. Pace. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Stokes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Unanimously. New business.
I'll make a motion we appoint and approve Margaret Huggins as voting delegate and Liz Pace as the alternate voting delegate at the June 2015 WAM convention.
We have a motion by Mr. Stokes. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mrs. McMurtry. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
I'll make a motion we approve resolution 15-02, a resolution authorizing the submittal of a community enhancement grant to the Wyoming Business Council for the purpose of building a community hall, visitor center, town hall, public works facility for the town of Bear River, Wyoming.
We have a motion by Mr. Stokes. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Yeah.
I'll second it.
Okay. I have a second by Mrs. Huggins. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously, even though I didn't ask if there's any opposed. Okay, old business.
I make a motion we approve the second reading of ordinance 2015-01, an ordinance of the town of Bear River, Wyoming, prohibiting the burning of certain specified materials within the corporate limits of the town.
We have a motion by Mrs. McMurtry. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second by Mrs. Pace. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, let's discuss it real quick. Just for clarification purposes, this isn't to prohibit all burning in the town of Bear River. This is just basically prohibiting the burning of caustic and materials that can be dangerous and hazardous to human life, rubber tires, PVC pipe, things like that. You can still burn weeds, you can still burn wood. It calls for notification of the county fire department before you do that, so we don't have any false alarms called in. But other than that, it shouldn't limit anybody or change anything we're really doing now. Just for clarification.
Trevor, just kind of watch out for thy neighbor. Don't be burning a bunch of stuff that's going to make neighbors sick. So with that discussion, we have a motion and we have a second. Is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
I make a motion to approve the second reading ordinance 2015-02, an ordinance of the town of Bear River, Wyoming, proposed budget fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2015 and ending June 30th, 2016.
We have a motion by Mrs. Pace. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
A second by Mr. Stokes. Is there any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, moving on to reports from the planning and zoning.
Just two things. Number one, I've been going through the planning and zoning code. It's kind of a planning and zoning code is kind of an evolving document. It's been a couple of years since we've gone through it and updated it. I've got to get together with you and clarify a couple of things and see if there's anything you want to add to it. And also, hey, did you get a call this last week as far as electrical service down on Mustang? Somebody wanted to cut the road.
It actually, not last week. It's been a couple, 3 weeks ago, I had a couple different contractors contact me wanting to cut the road for water, sewer, and power.
Okay, I just had one individual get a hold of me last week, wanted to know about the power, and I told him, well, now would be a fine time to do that while we're starting to prove, but you do it afterwards, it's gonna be a little more touchy in the situation, so I was just curious.
Is that power, or are you talking about water and sewer?
Power.
Power?
Just power. Okay, that's all I have.
Perfect. Anything, anybody got anything else to add to the planning and zoning?
One thing, Troy. One thing to remember too, if they cut the road down there, it's a $1,500?
I believe it is.
It's $1,000.
$1,000 cut permit, a bond. But once the road has been repaired and we bite off on it, then they get their money back.
Within a year.
Right, but there is a bond required for any cuts down.
Well, that's what I told him.
It's in our resolution. I'll give them a copy of that if they're,
Right. They are responsible if there is fabric or geo grid underneath
That's
there that
correct.
needs to
Yeah.
be replaced properly.
and I think that's even more.
So, anything else on planning and zoning? And moving ahead, roads, we just discussed the roads a little bit. The roads have been, what, 80%, 50% graded. Got a little hiccup with our grader, getting it fixed here shortly. But we are gonna do a quickie, fix the roads. So we'll be making a quick pass and we'll come back and redo them in June. Magnum, all that. We'll let everybody know ahead of time we'll do the mag so you don't get stuff all over your cars and whatnot. Sorry about that phone call. Anybody got anything else to add on the roads?
You know, I think the roads overall have been wonderful. I can't remember too many years where come Memorial Day, we've actually had the roads done. In fact, the only thing I do remember is complaints every year because they weren't done. Especially the Elk Biles section, you know, it's usually, by this time of year, it's usually so potholed and rutted. A lot of our citizens down there have parties on Memorial Day. One has kind of a little motorcycle type thing go on, and I know they're dodging potholes every year. And so the roads have been wonderful. Thanks to both of you. You've done a good job.
All right, thank you. Anything else to add with the roads? Just, I know we say this every month, just slow down.
Yep.
You know, you don't need to pass people. The speed limit's 20 for a reason. Just go speed limit, please.
I actually had an unlicensed white car today that I almost threw the grader out in front of.
Any other discussion on them? Those? Moving on to water and sewer. Mrs. McMurtry.
At the last joint powers board meeting, the board voted and approved to fill the at-large position with Chris Hopkins. We really had some great candidates. I'm glad everybody who wrote a letter that wanted to be on the board. I think it's important for our community that they be involved. And Barb, do you have anything from the administrative side?
Everything's good.
Okay. Dave, do you have anything?
Really good. Really good.
Okay. Everything's good other than that.
Right. Once again, I'd just like to reiterate what Mrs. McMurtry said, that we do appreciate all of those that applied for the position. It was tough. We had to vote 3 different times to figure out who we were going to get. So, that being said, is there any other discussion on water and sewer? Okay, moving on to irrigation, Mrs. Huggins.
The ditch cleaning is finished as far as the budget would allow this year. We got down almost north of Stretch's property.
Ryan Labrum.
Ryan Labrum. We need to remind our residents that it is the responsibility of the property owners to keep their ditches clean. The head gate is now open, and at this time there's a good flow, so that's good news. Let's share the water.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to add to that? I got something to add. Just be courteous to your neighbor. Don't be damming up the water. Let it go. Let it flow. It's not your water. It's everybody's water. So let's just keep it that way and don't be damming it off. Be courteous to your neighbor. Anybody else got anything to add? Okay. Moving on to items from the floor.
And that must be me.
Yes, could you please step up
Paula
to
Smith.
the podium?
Oh, I gotta go to
Please
the.
state your
See, I haven't
name,
been here in a long time.
address.
Okay. Paula Smith, 281 North Deer Mountain Road. And while my issue is not a big one, and not to upset any of the residents in the upper, North Deer Mountain or that area on the hill, it has to do with stray cats. I have been feeding stray cats and getting stray cats fixed so that we don't have a multitude of stray cats. In my endeavors, I have come across, just in the last month or so, 3 different cats that are not my strays or my personal cats that have been coming around. Obviously, there's food and water for them and shelter, and they're happy and whatever. One in particular, I don't know if they're fixed or not, or if they belong to anybody. My quest is to find out, or if anybody who owns cats could, I don't want to say register, but if they could call me if the cats have already been fixed, fine. If they're not, I might be in the neck of the woods of catching other strays to get them fixed. And if they belong to somebody, I don't want to mess with their cat. But if they're not collared or earmarked that they've already been fixed, you can't tell. And that's my notice to the other neighbors and whatever around. Obviously, we don't all go out in the corner and talk to each other. So if there's any way that they could just let me know if, and I have a picture of one. I don't know how you would describe it. How would you describe that cat? Pretty cat.
Pretty.
Really nice. This is just one. The other 2 that have been coming around are black. Easy to describe a black cat. It looks like a black cat. I have a black cat. Mine is
Looks like a
easier.
house cat.
Huh?
It does, it looks like well cared for.
This looks like a well cared for cat, and even better because he's been coming around and eating in my place.
I want to see another picture of him.
Yeah. But there's no collar. The pictures that I've been getting, or can see, I don't see any ear notch, so it's not a stray that's been fixed. If it's a stray, I will take care of getting it fixed or whatever if nobody owns it. All I have to do is catch it now, like the last time with the traps and the whole thing, But that's it, I don't know. And because I don't want to just start randomly catching every cat out there and getting them all fixed if they belong to somebody.
That's a very good service you're providing.
Well, and Susan down below does, she's
So you're
got her
basically
rescue.
wanting people to contact you if they're
If
they're
they have
missing
a,
their cat.
if they have a cat, well, that might not be missing. He doesn't
Yeah.
stay at my house. They
Yeah,
come and
okay.
go. They're wandering around.
Could we put
Yeah.
the picture in the,
Well, that's just it.
No.
We don't put pictures in the newsletter.
No.
I asked her.
I'm
Barb, hold that.
I would take way too much paper and space.
You want a picture of the cat? Can you get a
Hold it
close-up?
up, Scotty, because we can put it on the website.
And stuff like that?
Should I bring it over to you?
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
I got it.
Take the pictures
Got
of
it?
it.
Yep.
He got it.
He got it.
It'll be
Okay.
on the website.
Yeah, because I had these done. Really good service down at Walmart. You take your digital in, you can crop it, because this was not that close.
Okay.
This one runs for me when I open the door.
Yeah.
They all run for me, except even mine sometimes. But, it's a beautiful looking cat, but he's gotten into a scrape or two with the other cats. you know, they don't have
It is quite possible when you catch them, it could be chipped also, so you'll be able to figure that out when you take
You know, I mean, if they just want to give, we can put my number in there. I have no problem with that. If they want to call and say, that was my cat, or my cat looks like this, and don't fix it. Or he's already fixed, or she's already fixed, or
What's your number,
something.
Paula?
789-0858.
Okay.
Disregard the nasty message on the machine. Just go ahead and leave whatever information.
Okay.
You know.
Thanks for your concern.
And stuff like that.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
just, you know, I've already fixed 5 cats, plus my 2 that I take responsibility for, not just the other ones. So, but there's about 10 cats that I'm taking care of, so. And I would like to keep it to that level. I'm not looking to increase
Hence the
the
big
number of cats. And they are good, they are all good mousers.
Yeah.
I have found plenty of dead mice around my place.
Well, thank you for your
Thank you.
concern.
Okay?
Yeah. thank you,
Anything I
Paula.
have to do to close and leave the podium?
No.
No.
I'm done.
You're good.
That's it, I'm done.
That being said, if you do have cats or dogs, please keep an eye on them. They're your responsibilities. They're not Mrs. Smith. Miss Smith?
Myths, Ms.,
Miss
however.
Smith, I'm sorry.
And according to the ordinance, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's fine.
And according to the ordinance, they are not supposed to be running loose in the town.
Here.
And
They're not supposed to be what?
they are not supposed to be running loose in the town.
Well, cats are, you know, cats,
You can't.
you don't register cats, you don't license cats, really.
No, I understand that,
But-
but the ordinance is you don't let them run because we have a terrible cat problem in town.
Well, and that's what we're
That's-
trying to keep.
yeah. I'd rather see them kept in the house and taken care of than shot. And that's what's happening unfortunately right now.
Yeah, well, and see, mine are indoor, outdoor cats. They come and go
Yeah.
on their own. But, you know, it's like, they've got a collar and a phone number. If you shoot it, call me and tell me you shot it. You know?
I haven't shot a cat in a long
If it's being a pest, you know, you're not gonna ask
Yeah,
for
there's
the,
a
like,
phone with that, they should
you
call
know, I've
first.
got a phone number on my cats so that they can call and say, hey, I found a dead cat in my yard and it's yours, you know, or something, whatever. But these
Probably
others
not
aren't,
gonna do
you know,
that.
don't have, and if they don't have anything, and I don't know if all of you know it, I know I've tried to spread the word from Susan and stuff like that, when you take them to a place to get fixed, if they're a stray, they nip the left ear, the top of the left ear, they nip the top off. And, you know, of the other 2 black cats.
That means they're fixed.
That means they're fixed, that they've, you know, so you don't have to
10,000.
worry about them
kitties.
So they
being
nip
around.
the top of the.
Top of the left ear, they just take the little
I'll
tip
check my
off.
cat.
Some of them take a lot off, some doctors don't only take just a, you really have to look. But I know 2 of the black ones that have been hanging around, there's no indication on their ears that they've been taken care of. But of course, if they're a private person's cat,
Uh-huh.
you take them, you get them fixed, they're not gonna nip their ear, that's only for strays.
Right.
So I don't know if somebody owns these or just they haven't been fixed or, you
Yeah.
know, that's my thing, just trying to get it.
You're a good person.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm an animal person. The people can fend for themselves, but I will take care of the animals,
Okay.
Okay.
including my neighbor's peacock,
Is there,
Oh,
you know, who comes over and eats the cat food.
is there any other discussion about the items from the floor? Do we have any other discussion?
Not for me.
Meeting is adjourned.
excellent.
Thank you.